More intimate, cooking or
Cooking is more intimate?
Hell yeah. I could tell how much you love me by that meal. I mean, the tender loving care. Like, I'm a fat kid, so food is my happy place. So when a woman cooks for me, I just feel it's different. I mean,
what's going on, people? You are tuning into Cleaning Up the Culture with your boy Dizzy D Spill, and I like this conversation from tonight's argument. I'm sorry, tonight's conversation, but it do be seeming like they arguing with either themselves or the crowd. But I thought this was a great conversation to have, and I'm definitely going to get my commentary. It looks like they have a guest. I forget his last name, but his name is Lance. He's a pretty good actor, does a lot of Tyler Perry projects, but I'm gonna go ahead and let them finish before I give my full synopsis.
sex is sex. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fulfilling, all that stuff. But you cook for me, like it's almost spiritual.
Oh, y'all disappointed me on this stage. Talking about cooking is more intimate. This woman is giving you her body.
come on.
And it just lets me know y'all don't know all forms of intimacy. You said it's almost more spiritual. No, it ain't. There it is.
Well, that's kind of strange because I don't know if y'all noticed this. I had to cut in, and the reason why I cut in was because she kind of contradicted herself. She said, y'all don't know different or all forms of intimacy. And if I'm not mistaken, if there's multiple different levels of intimacy, that means there's styles of intimacy outside of sex. But am I the only one? Did I miss something? But I'm gonna let the sister finish though.
My wife.
There is physical intimacy, sexual intimacy, spiritual intimacy, emotional intimacy, intellectual intimacy, financial intimacy. There are different levels of intimacy that we are talking about. And y'all want to say that cooking is more intimate than a woman opening up her body and her soul to you?
Hey, it's a lot of.
The facial expression is slightly annoying, but we don't get to dictate what the most intimate thing is for a person. This is why you have conversations about love language, which can be frustrating at times because I feel like that could be a manipulation as well. But if there's different forms, you don't get to say which one is more important. Obviously, the physical, sexual intimacy is more important to her because look at the look on her face. Anyways, we still got to get more context, right? So let's make sure we get more context, Dizzy, before we keep going in on this conversation. But she just named all of the different styles of intimacy and then decided to pick for everyone what the most important one is. But maybe she has more context to it. So let's let her finish.
A lot of women that open up their body and they soul.
That's their mistake that they decided to fornicate. That's their mistake.
Look, my wife.
We are opening up. That's the reason why the word tells you that you become one flesh. When you have sex in the old times, not today's times, in the old times, old times, when you decided to lay with somebody, you were actually becoming one flesh. That is something on an intimate level. She is opening her body. This is a portal that she is opening. And y'all saying cooking is more intimate than having sex.
Yeah. Oh, I get what she's saying. It is a big decision when women do that for the women that value that. See, what she's missing is that the times that we live, because she brought up the old times. We're not living in the old times, sweetheart. We're living in to now, right? Today to now. And there are a lot of women that not only they don't understand the great point that you're making, but they also don't care. Some women don't understand, some women don't care, and some women don't care to understand. And that's the part that we have to pay attention to as well. So although you value your body and you value that style of intimacy, what you also have to understand is that there are women that don't care. There are women in today's climate that are moving like men and actually worse than men. So yes, is that a high form of intimacy? Yes. For a valued part of intimacy? Yes. For women with morals. So if we're going to do that, we also have to start talking about what type of women falls into this category. And of course, when she starts speaking, you hear the women, oh, wow, yeah, go ahead, clapping and whistling and all of these things. But the part that is unfortunate is they're hyper focused on what the woman is saying versus what the man is saying. And he is the one dictating how important that level or that type of intimacy is, which could trump physical intimacy. But I'll let her finish.
It's a lot of levels. You're right about that. But we're talking sex and we're talking cooking for a man. And I just feel like
I'm just gonna always have to disagree with you.
Can I add this
Got
part?
that.
Can I add this part? In my life, how many cooked meals have I had compared to how many I've had?
There you go. That's the reality.
When we say what it should be, and it's going to her question about the hookup culture, when we saying what it should be, I've had more.
Yo, Ace metaphor pisses me off with a lot of his points. But when he's right, he's right. This one I agree with. See, what has happened now is that certain things that are important in a relationship, in a marriage, or whatever kind of union you have, now what has happened is we disregard, I don't want to say the little things, but the different elements of the type of intimacy. Because now he made a good point. It's actually easier for men. Think about this, women. Think about this as far as morals and stuff like that. It's actually easier for men to get the vajayjay than a cooked meal. There's women out there that'll give it up to you, but when you ask for a meal or you ask for something like that, oh, that's for the husband. But what? That's backwards. That's what these men are trying to say, that it's harder to get a cooked meal out of a chick, out of your girl, than intimacy. So now we're talking about different elements of intimacy. We're talking about laziness. We're talking about sacrifice a little bit. We're talking about understanding. This is an issue in our culture. That's why I wanted to do a cleaning up the culture episode about this, because these type of elements are different types of examples that you could show love to your partner. And we're just saying, well, let me just press the shut up button and give them something that'll make them shut up and literally go to sleep. He's right. And I think it was going over that sister's head and what he was explaining, because that's a hell of a point. That's a hell of a point.
Then kisses on the lip. And then when it gets to cooking, a lot of women will feel like the cooking is more intimate. I'm only going to cook for my man, but yet you busting it open on date 3 for him. So while I get the idea of what you say, so what should it be?
It should be sex in the kitchen.
Yo, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. That's pretty solid right there. I like that. I like that a lot. Shout out to tonight's conversation for sure, man. Shout out to tonight's conversation. Yeah, I think it's a real thing that is not talked about enough in our culture and in our community. Straight up. Y'all can let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this. But I do think that, and I really do believe in our community, we have a lot of things backwards because of how easy access things were. When I was coming up, there were so many things that went into just getting the girl, right? You were shy about getting the girl. I come from the era where we had cell phones, but we were still using the landline because we had to pay for minutes. And, you know, that fear of calling a girl's house and her parents picking up or her dad picking up, who is this? What's your name? And there were so many things that went into talking to a girl. And there were so many fears that you were willing to face just to get next to that girl and just to be in her aura and her presence. So the idea of physical intimacy, which we were taught you were supposed to wait to do those things before marriage, but just even having that conversation and actually doing that, obviously prematurely, there was so many different steps and so many things you had to prove to each other, but as her boyfriend or her man, that went into that, and that has went away. It's easy access for a lot of men now. Matter of fact, it's so easy that as long as you dress a certain type of way, have a certain amount of money, and say all of the nice things and none of the dumb things, you could get the box fairly quick. And it's unfortunate. And And the reality is, whether you hate this man or not, Kevin Samuels was right. Women control access to sex and men control access to marriage. And and the crazy thing is those things aren't even leveraged for each other anymore. It's the perks of what should come with a marriage that people are leveraging without the marriage. So, like I said, what I think the sister was missing in this conversation is that there are things that you can do for a man that will be highly appreciated outside of sex, that we will appreciate you and we will love you for. But because that's the hot commodity and it's easy to get and it's been oversaturated and it's in the music and in social media and all of these things, that the value has shifted. It is a temporary value instead of a long-term value. You know, so although she's talking about giving the body up and, well, that's their choice to fornicate. Well, it's easy to get a lot of women to do that now. And that's not being talked about enough. And in our community, we suffer from it a whole lot, because what comes from meaningless sex? Broken homes, the value of marriage is undervalued, right? It's not even really valued anymore. And then guess what happens? What happens is you get with somebody, you get intimate, a baby comes out of it, y'all don't stay together. You're mad because you're bringing certain people around the baby or around the child. And when it comes to watching the child, because you probably come from a broken home, now you have your single parent babysitting your child so you can have free time instead of grandma and grandpa giving each other a hand while they give you a break. It's just a crazy domino effect that affects generation after generation after generation. And I think when it comes to cleaning up our culture, we have to clean up by going back to the morals. Sex should be put on a pedestal with marriage. And I know that people don't want to talk about marriage, but the crazy thing is we marry things all the time. You marry materialism, you marry status, you marry your social media followers, you marry everything but the person that could make decisions that you can't make if you're on your deathbed, or you won't marry the person that actually gave you a child, or you won't marry the person that would actually bend over backwards for you, and you know it because you're scared of commitment. It's crazy. We got to clean up the culture on this one. Sisters, if you're going to sit up there and you're going to say, I only do certain things like that for my husband, and you're giving your body up, you sound stupid as hell. And even brothers, if you're saying anything like, well, I'm only going, I wouldn't, man, you ain't my wife, or you can't, well, then don't be running up in her like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's your wife. We got to get back to the foundation where, sisters, y'all need to start controlling the situation and the outcome with sex. You guys control sex. We don't. And we control marriage. Y'all don't. And we have to leverage these things for the right reasons and for more positive reasons. But like I said, I agree with Brother Man. Like that's a different level of intimacy when your woman is doing things for you. And man, when she's doing things for you and she's giving you the box, now you feel like you gotta, man, now I gotta fix her car and I gotta send her family flowers. And now I gotta be a nice guy. And man, what church should we go to? It's not just the sex, it's all of the things that a woman can give you prior or after. You know, women of value, it goes way past physical intimacy. Women of true value is way past. It's her mind, her mentality. There's so many things that go into it. I probably should do a video about it, but I don't want to talk your ear off. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know if Lance was right or wrong. Fellas, speak up. Was he speaking facts? And sisters, do you think that he was missing her point? Do you think that there's different types of intimacy? Let me know what you guys think. Personally, I think there's all kinds of types of intimacy, and I don't think there can be just one that's the most important. I think there's a top 3 to 5 that are the most important, but not just one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this conversation. If this is your first time coming to the Epic Lounge Network, tuning in to Cleaning Up the Culture with Dizzy D Spill, you know what to do. Press the subscribe button, turn the notifications on at the bell, and let me know what you guys think when you're tuning in. Until the next episode, I'm out of here. Peace.